the hate crime, to use the left's term, that was committed in Chicago. Here's a brief clip or overlay, and we can't use too much of that because YouTube or Twitter will take it down. We wouldn't want any fake news there, mind you. This is one of those things that's really important, so stay with me here. Here was the ensuing media reaction to what really should have been a unifying moment. This is something where everybody should be on board, or at least similarly on board when it comes to their reactions, but this is how the media reacted.
We cannot callously go about classifying things as a hate crime.
You know, although they are adults, they're 18. Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids, they're legally adults, but they're young adults and they make stupid decisions.
I think some of it is just stupidity. You know, people just ranting about something that they think might make a headline.
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's evil. I think these are young people, and I think they have bad home training.
For those who haven't watched the real video, a couple of black people kidnapped a special needs white guy, beat him so badly that he was basically scalped. You could see his scalp, yelled, "F white people, f white people," insinuated, actually outright said that it was because he voted Donald Trump. I have no idea if this guy did vote Donald Trump, and made the special needs man drink toilet water. Again, f white people, f white people. But the jury is still out. We don't really know. This is proof positive, 100%, that the media doesn't care about actual racism at all. When you see it right in your face, blatantly, well, we don't know. They're more concerned with non-racism. They only care about black people when it suits their political agenda. They only care about using them as a political tool. They're less offended by this than they will be with a front page story running on somebody who accidentally used the term colored people instead of people of color. And you have the United States right now. This is the Trump reaction. They're really scared because they see, well, you know what, here. I said this before. I said this about Black Lives Matter. I said the result. I hate to be that guy saying, but I talked about the result that would occur if you continued to vilify cops and white people this way. When they put out there this idea that cops in record numbers are simply killing black people because of a level of melanin in their skin for benign activities and no reason at all, what does that do? Well, it makes it okay to vilify cops. It makes it okay to dehumanize cops, and it makes it okay to treat them subhumanely. My point is that if you are not honest, if you are simply using a false narrative to try and generate clicks, you then allow somebody to aim their latest outrage cannon at whoever subject you deem to be suitable. So I don't know, kidnapping a special needs guy, beating him down to his scalp, making him drink toilet water while you yell, "F white people, f white people," is that subhumane? I would say so, but that's me, Mr. Old-Fashioned. Here we are at a point where people are scared. Dallas PD shooting. People are terrified. And of course, like, well, this might be happening with Black Lives Matter. No. We see these kinds of hate crimes. We've seen several of these in Chicago. People are scared. That's why they're voting for Donald Trump. They're afraid of the political correctness. They're afraid of Black Lives Matter, who essentially, as you see, I know, by the way, the hashtag BLM kidnapping, these people aren't officially associated with Black Lives Matter. That was meant to be ironic to point out the sentiment expressed by Black Lives Matter and the congruency with this kind of crime. But these are anecdotal examples, so Dallas PD, people feel that vibe, but it's anecdotal, so you can look to statistics. Record rise in attacks on police officers, despite the media telling you that that's not occurring. Record crime occurring in Chicago. And by the way, we're talking about a sharp spike in graphs that can be directly attributed. But of course, you have a bunch of media doing damage control, from mainstream networks to non-black white guy Sean King, who's hired as a Young Turks token black guy, to, of course, our favorite race baiter-in-chief, Tariq Nasheed, who said, "Notice how the misnamed hashtag BLM kidnapping suspects don't have any unions or organizations funding protecting them from prosecution." Come again, stupid? What? Okay. You believe that if white people kidnapped a black person, said, "Fuck black people, voted Hillary Clinton, fuck you, fuck black people," beat the black person down to within an inch of their scalp and made the mentally retarded black person drink toilet water, that they would have organizations lining up to fund the defense of a white guy? I think the guy who was kidnapped is more qualified to commentate than you, Tariq Nasheed. By the way, if you're more offended at the fact that I used a black-sounding voice or used the word mentally retarded instead of special needs, you're part of the problem. You are exactly part of the problem. Nothing that I said there was hateful. Nothing that I said there was wrong or designed to insult special needs people. I volunteer. My wife does. We work with them. The left has you so concerned. It's not about racism. It's not about caring. It's about virtue signaling. Whoop. He said mentally retarded. Let me leave a YouTube comment so I think I'm making an impact on the world. Changes. He did a black voice. Let's act like that's racist right now and let's pretend that we're outraged because we can show everyone how tolerant we are. How about you be more outraged instead of me using the word mentally retarded? That was by design, was a litmus test at the person who was beaten within an inch of their life, scalp, while people yelled out, fuck white people, fuck Donald Trump. Why is that not more outrageous to you? Here's the silver lining, the media right here. Here was a moment, kind of like 9/11. Everyone unified, everyone came together, said, all right, let's put aside our squabbles. We really need to come together as Americans. Here's a moment where everyone watching this video, everyone watching media, by the way, at a time when mistrust of media is an all-time high. I'm not talking fake news on Facebook that Mark Zuckerberg has to walk in and curate. I'm talking ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC. You look at the statistics. People do not trust mainstream media. Here was a moment where people kidnapped a special needs. The only thing that could rally people in a more unifying way would be puppies. Because PETA, they don't get out of their bed for a special needs person. But if a puppy is involved, they're going to be protesting topless. But still, we're getting close. This is a moment where everyone in the United States watches this, sees a white person kidnapped by two black people, a special needs person, beaten, forced to drink toilet water while they yell, fuck white people, fuck white people. And oh my gosh, the reaction is the same. The media had a glowing opportunity here to at least partially redeem themselves by saying, all right, you know what, this is a gimme, okay? This isn't a black guy played knockout game and knock out an old white person. Is it a hate crime? Is it gang affiliation? This one, they're yelling out that it's because they hate white people and Donald Trump. This is a gimme. You know what? Let's go with this. Let's call it what it is. If all the media had to do here to redeem themselves was to report the facts and tell the truth. And instead, as you see, they buried themselves and nailed their own coffin.